Welcome to Heroes Assembly. Hey, Downsy Africa, who is my name, the grandson of all revolutionary ancestors. Today, I'm not going to be bothering you all with COVID-19 news or whatsoever, because I discovered that COVID-19 has taken away so many things from us. And whether we like it or not, after COVID-19, part of this problem that we've been facing as a country will still remain. And this brought us to the point where I ask, is dividing Nigeria the solution to our problems as a country? On a serious note, if one look at it from the surface, dividing Nigeria seem to be the solution to our problem. But if one is keen-eyed and you give it critical look, you discover that dividing Nigeria is never the solution to our problem. Contrary to the general belief in the South here that the North is the problem affecting the growth of Nigeria, and contrary to the belief in the North as well that the South is the reason for their problems and some other problem that is confronting Nigeria, I will tell you that dividing Nigeria is not the problem. I'm not saying Nigeria can be divided, but come to think of it, is Nigeria the biggest country on planet Earth? The answer is no. Are we the smallest country? No. There are many smaller countries that are doing well. Likewise, there are many bigger countries too that are doing well. So the question is, why is Nigeria as a country not doing well? Honestly speaking, like I've said earlier, the problem is neither the South nor the North, but our political elite. The same people that planted Alimajiri, Boko Haram, bandits in the North for political gains, ensure that their counterparts have area boys, cultists, and militants here in the South. They did all this so as to have political advantage whenever it is electionary period. And this has been holding our country down for a very long time. If you think that the Yorubas don't like the Hausas, or that the Hausas don't like the Igbos, and vice versa, or the Yorubas don't like the Fulani, or however you want to put it into this perspective. Put it into this perspective. Why is it that our political elites that are Yorubas are not quarreling with those that are Hausas? Why is it that the political elite in Igbo land are not fighting the Fulanis? The reason is because they have common interests. Was it not the political elite in Igbo land that first of all labeled Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist? You can go and make your finding. They were the ones who first of all pushed him out before the federal government could even label him. They were the ones who feel threatened. And that was one of the reasons I'm not happy with Nnamdi Kanu. Instead of facing federal government, he ought to have channeled his energy against those political rogues that are in Igbo land. We have them everywhere. When they were sharing arms deal money, I'm talking about Dasuku Gate here. If you follow the news very well, you discover that there is virtually no tribe that did not get his own share. There is virtually no tribe and no religion now that did not get his own share. This is to tell you that our political elite care not about our tribe, they care not about religion, they care not about geopolitical zone or whatever affiliation you want to talk about. All they are concerned about is how to hold grip to power, and they can do anything that is possible. Even some things that appear impossible to us, they can do just to maintain themselves there. When it is electionary period, they pretend as if they are quarreling. They divide themselves into two, at times into three. They are still the ones that will present who we are to vote for. Whomever you vote for is still the same of the same. That's the problem holding this country down. They've been traveling out for years. They've been seeing how reasonable government is being run out there. But they refuse to replicate whatever that can liberate Nigerians. Even those in the south here, especially southwest, that are shouting, Awo's ideology, Awo's this. Awo gave them free education. Just the way the northern elites don't want the northern youth to have access to education. Knowing fully well that the southwest here we already have access to education. Now they're making the education even more difficult for us by increasing tuition fee in whatever form possible. Come to think of it, how can you be saying you are promoting education and you increase a school fee from 30,000 to 250,000? Who does that? These were the same people that benefited from free educational scheme of Awolowo. At times, I used to wonder if great Awo will not be regretting in his grave for giving this set of rogues free education in the first place, because the essence of the free education is not even telling on them. They seem not to have learned anything whatsoever from the free education Awolowo gave them, other than being cruel on the masses for wanting to be educated just like themselves. These are some of the things I want us to look into. I know that the beef has been there for a very long time. Yes, this political elite, they have the money, they control our military, or let me just say the armed forces. They control everything. They've planted their eyes everywhere. They know how to run the country badly, and they've been doing this for a very long time, so it's now difficult to even combat them now. But nevertheless, all hope is not lost. They were not the ones who gave us independence, and if they were not the ones who gave us independence, they won't be the one that will see the end of us. We will see the end of them, whether they like it or not. That's why I want all the youths across the country, whether in the north, in the south, wherever we are, let us come together and see ourselves as one, and let's stop being divided on political, religious or ethnic ground, because none of our political leaders are divided with this. Whenever you hear anyone shouting, and they did not give me money, and then they don't give me appointment because I be Hausa, they don't give me appointment because I be Igbo. Take your time and look at what is happening very well. What is attaching to it has no meaning. If he has not gotten an appointment because he's an Hausa man, another Hausa man has gotten an appointment. If he has not gotten an appointment because he's a Yoruba man, look closely, another Yoruba man has gotten an appointment. What they are crying is actually their interest, not because he's a Yoruba man. It's about their interest. So tell me what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to share with friends. Honestly speaking, it's painful that we've been this divided because of the activities of our political elite, those who ought to be preparing us for the future, those who ought to be preparing how they will hand over to us. Ask yourself this: when Ahmadu Bello was alive, Obafemi Awolowo was alive, Great Zik was alive, Tafawa Balewa and the likes, they have people that they brought up. These people mentor them. Please tell me, who can you mentor among today politicians? If we are saying we should divide Nigeria, for instance, if you are saying we should divide Nigeria, if Nigeria is divided today, who are those that will be the president in Southwest? Let's say we are divided into three. Let's say Biafra, Southwest, and the North. To start with, who are those that will be the political leaders in the Southeast? Are they not the ones today in Abuja and government offices across Igbo land? Who are those that will be the political leaders in Yoruba land? Are they not still the same people in Abuja and those across political offices today? That's to tell you that the problem we are facing in Nigeria will still be replicated. In fact, it will be worse. Why do I say this? Today, a person from Ibadan see me as a Yoruba man because I'm from Ondo State. I'm an Ilaje man, 100% Ilaje man. They see me as Omo Oduduwa because we are in Nigeria. If Nigeria is divided today, believe me you, the person in Ibadan will tell me that I'm a fake Yoruba man. Just the way somebody in Anambra will tell somebody from Abakaliki that he's a fake Igbo man. Ijebus will not be seen as Yorubas. Ekiti will not be seen as Yorubas. The same problem we are facing in Nigeria will be replicated, but now in smaller version across different countries. If you go to the north, the same thing will happen. We have the Fulanis, we have the Kanuris, we have the Hausas, we have the Kajes, and what have you. The same problem will continue. It is Nigeria that is uniting us. It is Nigeria that is making people like us to have a voice. If Nigeria is taken away from us today, our problem will be aggravated. That is just the truth. This is just what I have to tell whomever that is listening to me this time around. There is hope for Nigeria. Let's not lose hope because of our greedy politicians. One day, we all will look back to the past and will be glad that we indeed never lost hope in Nigeria. Please subscribe if you're here to subscribe. Till I come your way next time. Hey, down say Africa, who is my name, the grandson of all revolutionary ancestors. Bye for now.